Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. And I decided to watch the Spurs game tonight versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And mainly because I was trying to gauge what the Spurs have and what's the value of the people on their team and so on and so forth. Like, who's good at what. I've been trying to watch the Spurs a little more. And I ended up witnessing Ja Morant score 52 fucking points. And the Memphis Grizzlies won this game 118-105. Now, I understand it is the San Antonio Spurs, okay? They're not making a playoff run anytime soon. But, you know, for the past week and a half, on NBA Twitter, on NBA YouTube, on just ESPN, I've seen Stephen A. Smith come out and say that DeMar DeRozan is, you know, the third guy in line for MVP. I've been seeing it all week, okay? I've seen countless YouTubers make videos on DeMar DeRozan, and that's not to say that, you know, what DeMar DeRozan is doing is not impressive. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, how the fuck are people putting DeMar DeRozan ahead of Ja Morant in the MVP conversation? That's what I want to know, because this man just set the franchise record for points for the Memphis Grizzlies. He's scored 52, okay? Ja Morant is a generational talent, and I understand DeMar DeRozan's been on a really good run. I mean, he's had, 10 games of 30-plus points or something like that? Like, he passed Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, I think, at most had, 9 or something like that, so DeRozan having 10 is a big deal. But the only thing that DeMar DeRozan is doing better than Ja Morant is shooting percentage-wise, and he's averaging, one more point per game than Ja Morant. And even if you go on Basketball Reference's MVP tracker, even the MVP tracker that they have puts Ja Morant ahead of DeMar DeRozan. Granted, they have Luka Doncic on there and Rudy Gobert, and for those people on the MVP list, I'm not sure why, but they do. But I feel like Ja Morant is not getting the respect or credit he deserves for what he's done for this Memphis team this year. You know, it's not like Ja Morant has only been doing this recently. You know what I'm saying? Ja Morant has been playing at a high level literally all year, since the season started. And all I keep hearing about is DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan this, DeMar DeRozan that, DeMar DeRozan, I get it. You know, I understand DeMar DeRozan is playing very well. He's having a really good season. DeMar DeRozan's been playing well all season. But I just feel like Ja Morant is being left out, because Memphis has a better record than Chicago. Granted, Chicago is second in the East, but they don't have a better record than Memphis, who is in the West. They're third in the West currently. Memphis is now 43-20 after tonight's win against San Antonio. And I mean, I've seen Ja Morant do things tonight that I didn't even think were possible. I mean, Steven Adams literally bombed a pass all the way down the court into the corner for Ja Morant before halftime. Ja Morant jumped in the air, caught the ball in the air, shot it in the air before time expired, and fucking made it. I mean, Ja Morant is a generational talent, and I really, really believe that he's ahead of DeMar DeRozan in the MVP race. I don't care what anybody says. It's a hill I will die on, okay? I get it, you know, maybe DeMar DeRozan's last 10 games look better than Ja Morant's last 10 games, but you could almost argue that Ja Morant's last 15 games look better than DeMar DeRozan's last 15 games, okay? It's just, all I'm saying is, I want some respect on Ja Morant's name. That's all I'm saying. I just want some respect. That's all. Because, don't get me wrong, what DeMar DeRozan is doing is impressive, but I am appalled by how many people are not putting Ja Morant in that same conversation, because Ja Morant is playing his ass off this year. I mean, Ja Morant's gonna be a Hall of Famer. It is what it is. I mean, even if he has some crummy injury, right? God forbid it happens, right? Just his first 2 seasons of playing in the NBA, or the first couple seasons he's had, are enough to say he was going to be really, really good. Like, even if his career ended tomorrow, okay? Like, people would go on to say that he's like, Derrick Rose, in a sense where his career got cut short because of injuries. But Ja Morant is going to be probably, I think he's going to be in the MVP race for a very long time in this league to come. And it just amazes me how many people are prisoners of the moment in these, especially in the NBA and the sports world as a whole. People tend to be prisoners of the moment. But I was thinking to myself the other day, like literally a week ago, once I started hearing all the DeMar DeRozan stuff, I was like, that's impressive, but Ja Morant's been going crazy all fucking year. And he scored 46 last game. He just scored 52. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm just tired of the Ja Morant disrespect. I can't even say it's disrespect. I think people are just not paying attention. The Memphis Grizzlies are a really good basketball team, okay? And I would even argue, like, is Chicago a better built team than Memphis? I mean, let's be honest. If we look at Memphis, who do they have? They have Brandon Clark, who's been playing well this year, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Ja Morant. They have a solid unit. They got Kyle Anderson. They've got solid players. But is Memphis really like a more talented team than Chicago? I mean, Chicago has Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic. Okay, they got Ayu Duyomba or whatever, if I said his name correctly, a rookie who was playing very well for them. Like, it seems as if Chicago has more firepower than Memphis, and Memphis has the better record. So I don't know, man. I'm not really here to give super crazy hot takes, but I don't even think this is a super crazy hot take. But I would argue that Ja Morant has more of an argument for being NBA MVP than DeMar DeRozan at the moment. I understand the percentages for DeRozan are better. He's a better free throw shooter. He's shooting the three better. From the field, DeRozan is shooting like 51%. Ja is like 49%. I think the three-point percentage splits are like DeRozan is shooting 36% from three. Ja Morant shooting 33% from three. DeRozan shooting 80% from the line. I think Ja Morant shooting something like 77% from the line or something like that. So I understand the percentage points, okay? And I understand that DeMar DeRozan's averaging like literally 1 point more per game than Ja Morant. But I don't know, man. To me, it just seems like people are conveniently leaving Ja Morant out of this conversation, and I kind of can't believe it. It's time that I think people need to watch more Memphis games. I feel like that's part of the reason. I feel like people don't watch Memphis Grizzlies games because it's the Memphis Grizzlies, but Ja Morant's a generational talent, and you know what? He has single-handedly turned this team around, I think. And, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been that's another thing, man. Like, Jaren Jackson Jr., I think Jaren Jackson Jr. was injured for most of the start of the season because I drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. and he was injured for most of the, how are people leaving Ja Morant out of this conversation? I don't know, man. It's wild to me because I remember that. I drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. in my fantasy team this year. And he didn't play for like the first 20 something games of the season or something like that, or 15 or something like it. I don't know, man. All I know is Ja Morant's a fucking monster, and people need to start recognizing it. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.